It has been raining for so long for the whole winter, and today, finally, the sky turned blue. It's the kind of blue that makes you pause, take a breath, and feel lighter. So I held on to that feeling and turned it into a dress. I've been getting a lot of requests to show more of my pattern making process, so in this video, I'm taking you behind the scene a bit more. Everything starts with something very simple, a basic block. I always find it a little magical how something so simple can slowly transform into something detailed and elegant. Let's start with the bodice. This time, I decided to combine the front and the back in one single piece. I begin by designing just one half, shaping the neckline, adjusting the curve, thinking about how it will sit on the doll, and then I mirror it to the other side. Now the skirt. At first glance, is simple, but because this design is asymmetrical, we need to make sure the front and the back still feel connected and flow together. The ruffles. Instead of measuring with a ruler, I use a string, just wrapping it along the shape to get the length, and then turn it into a spiral. Sometimes you see the simplest tools are the most intuitive. Before committing to the final pattern, I test everything with scrap fabric, draping it, watching how it falls. Fabric always has the final say, you see. Once the pattern is perfect, everything becomes way easier. For the neckline, this is the make or break part, so I decided to sew it first while everything is still flat. It gives me more control and more precision. Now you see why I combined the front and the back bodies together, hey? You probably noticed that I'm always trying new ways to do things. I really just want more of you to feel like, hey, I can actually do this too, and maybe come sew along with me. This trick too is also something new I want to experiment this time, just to see if it can give me really clean bodies and neckline, but with a bit less effort. It is so easy to sew the neckline when everything is flat like this. And on the other hand, this trick also saves time. We only have to trace the fabric once and we cut both layers together. Now we have two identical pieces. So satisfying when they match perfectly. And now I just need to mark 3 points for the dart. Easy peasy. This fabric is natural silk, so I can't use heat to seal the edges. I have to use freight jack instead. And trust me, be very careful with it. You do not want it to go past the seam line. Then I sew the darts from the legs all the way to the tip. And I tie a knot at the end to secure it. Small details like this make a difference in the final shape. I've always wanted to create beautiful things, but I'm not that talented. I'm not good at drawings, I'm not good at painting. Somewhere along the way, I found this, making tiny dresses. I don't think it's really about the dress, but it's about the feeling of creating something in your hands and watching it slowly come into life. Oh, and here's another trick. The thread I kept in between the two layers at the first beginning. Now you can just gently pull it to turn the garment over. Then I press everything with my mini iron. I honestly love this tool so much. It's small, precise, perfect for miniature work. How about you? What's one sewing tool you absolutely can't live without? I'm curious. Oh, by the way, we're making the neckband. If you have a matching double-folded bias binding, perfect! You can use it instead of fold and press the neckband like me. Next, I mark the center of the neckband. Secure it with a few stitches and use sewing tape to hold everything in place. See? Clean with no stitches. And just like that, perfect bodies. And we moved on to the skirt. Again, I start with the darts. With delicate fabric like this, I place parchment paper underneath. It protects the fabric and it helps the stitches glide smoothly. Even though, It does dull the needle faster, but sometimes it's worth all the trade-off. Once all darts are done, I press them carefully, attach to the front, and done. The skirt is ready. And if you love to create this dress, the pattern is available on my Etsy shop, miniliaboutique.etsy.com. Now we bring everything together, attach the skirt to the bodice. We pin it all along, checking alignment and adjusting as needed. The ruffles. This fabric is thicker, so I cannot hem it. I have to carefully seal the edges with fire. I'm not gonna lie, a little scary. Since there is no lining to hide the seam, I need a clean finish. French seams would be a bit too bulky here, so instead, I press the seam open, fold it in, and hand sew invisible stitches. You run the needle inside the fold and just catch a tiny bit of fabric. Don't go all the way through. This part takes time and it's a lot of patience, but the result is incredible. There's something very calming about hand sewing. It slows everything down and it makes you more present. Do you enjoy hand sew or you prefer using the machine? Before sewing it, I always test it on the skirt once again, because once it's sewn, it's very hard to unstitch. Next, the zipper. Always use the zipper foot. It helps to sew as close to the teeth as possible. And precision matters, you know that. To soften the look and hide the seam, I add lace on top. A small detail, but it might change everything. Then comes the lining. Hand sew again with invisible stitches along the zipper to make it clean and finish. Is it enough? Or does it need something more? Maybe a rose on the neckband? Something soft? Something romantic? What do you think? I would truly love to hear your opinion. In the end, I decided to go a little bit more dramatic. Big lace, sparkle belt, rose on the collar, a stronger presence, because that blue sky wasn't just gentle. It was bold, it's clear, and it's full of life.
Thank you for watching.